Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Josh, and this channel is all about personal finance and investing and creating wealth and these sorts of things. And on the channel, if you're not new here, you might have seen that I've talked a lot about the different successes, right? Here's how I started my financial advisory business. Here's how much I make as a wealth manager in 2020. Here's my $150,000 investment portfolio. All of these things that are kind of signaling how successful I might be. But behind all of that, there's been a lot of turbulence, and there's been a lot of failures, and there's been a lot of things that really didn't go right. And the funniest thing is that this entrepreneurial journey that a lot of you are on and that I'm on, it's almost as if you're just running into as many errors and smashing your head against as many walls as you can until you kind of learn the right way to do it. That's really the truth. There's that funny cliche, what is it? It's like everyone thinks you're an overnight success after doing 10 years of hard work. And for me, that was like doing 10 years of kind of failing over and over. So today, what I haven't really done before is talked about all the different business ventures that I tried to start that absolutely flopped, wasted time, wasted money, went absolutely nowhere. The first thing that comes to mind is how much of a blessing and a curse it is to learn how to build a website. Because once you've learned how easy it is to build a website, you feel like you can kind of start any company or try to start any website that might start generating ad revenue. And what you probably know is that every time you go to a website and see ads on it, they're making money. The builder of that website is making money off of something probably called Google AdSense. They're seeing your eyeballs, you're clicking ads, and you're making that person money by visiting their website. That's how websites get paid. And when I first came across this concept, I thought, oh, this is easy. I start a website, I put ads on it, and over time, this thing will just start making a ton of money. And so me and a friend of mine, this is looking back, I'm just like, ugh, what a stupid idiot idea. But back in the day, when YouTube was just kind of gaining ground, there were things called unboxing videos. So what they would do is there'd be like a new pair of shoes or like a new, I don't even know, whatever you're interested in. You type in XYZ unboxing, right? And there would be somebody unboxing that product that you wanted, and it kind of gave you that dopamine rush as if you actually bought something. So these unboxing videos were starting to go viral. So me and my friend said, hey, why don't we start a website called Unbox It? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have essentially a blog that uploads this massive database of YouTube video unboxings. And instead of people going to YouTube, they can come to Unbox It. What a dumb idea, because they're all already on YouTube with distribution. But anyways, we thought we were brilliant. We thought the idea was gonna work. And our whole business strategy was this. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply for like 1 million free ad credits from different advertisers online, things like Google AdWords or whatever, and we're just gonna get free, like the version of a free trial for running ads online. And I just remember setting up like 30 different emails to get different Google AdWords passwords so that I could essentially scheme the system. What I would do is I would get free ads by applying 1 million different emails, and then we would charge for ads on our website. And over time, what we started to see is it kind of started to work. We got to the point where we were in high school, probably making $100 a month, $200 a month in ads, until Google saw what we were doing and completely shut us down. And about 8 to 12 months worth of work that we had put into this thing went to squat. I think at the end of the day, we had put in all this time, thought we were brilliant, and we sold the domain name to a porn site for like $100. So that business venture, we probably made about $400 in total, and otherwise it was a complete failure. Another one that comes to mind that was particularly embarrassing because I had a close friend who I really respected, and I kind of wheeled him into this business with me because he had some connections, and it was called Veloce Web Solutions. Back to the whole web development thing, right? I had some friends who had started a pretty successful social media agency, and there was a lot of clients that became too small for them that they didn't want to deal with anymore. And they knew that I knew how to just throw together a basic website. So they said they would just kind of refer me these clients they really didn't want, and they would come every now and then. So I decided, hey, I'll start VeloceWebSolutions.com. We are going to be a web developer. We're going to start building websites for people, and that's essentially what we did. Now, the only problem with Veloce Web Solutions is that our entire revenue stream and all of our customers were based on someone else referring me clients. So once that was no longer around, the company completely folded, and every piece of organic business we tried to get ourselves fell through. We actually never got a deal on our own. We pretty much survived by just getting referrals from somebody else until those dried up. So I think in total, Veloce Web Solutions probably made $2,000, $2,500 over my entire high school career. Another one that comes to mind is this idea where you see people who want to be an entrepreneur, they don't really have any value to provide, so they kind of get into the whole self-help, selling inspiration kind of thing because they need to be inspired to start their own thing. This is the headspace I was in. I was so excited to try to start a business. I didn't know what I could do, but I came across this random print from this company online. It was like this. It was like this nice print that had all these motivational sayings on it, and it was laid out really well with like Photoshop and Adobe, whatever. It was this beautifully designed thing, and I thought, wow, I could make those. And I saw that they were selling thousands of copies, so I thought, okay, let's get together with a buddy who knows how to design stuff and knows how to put together cool things on Photoshop. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with really inspirational prints, and we're gonna call it Printivation, and we're gonna sell prints all over the internet. And so we got through like our first one, and I remember realizing, man, this is essentially a direct ripoff of some other company. And before it ever even got to the point where we were ready to put these online, we had built out the website, we had thought about doing marketing, we were building these products, we had this whole different shelf. We essentially got to the point where the co-founder, if you could even call it that, and I started to butt heads to the point that we're like, this is a stupid idea, it's probably not gonna go anywhere. And we probably spent another 6 to 8 months and all this money and time invested into that project, and it essentially became nothing. One thing I realized as I was going through all these different ventures and most of them not going anywhere or not producing any money at all is that I was stuck in this money rabbit mentality where I was just kind of jumping from hot thing to hot thing to hot thing, trying to see what could make me money fast because I just had no staying power, I had no patience. I was young and I wanted to be successful very, very quickly. And that kind of prevented me from really diving into any one thing or putting a ton of time into, which brings you perfectly to my next business venture that failed completely. And I knew a few people who were starting to do really well on YouTube, which is funny because now here I am again doing YouTube again because it's true. There's a ton of opportunity and there's a ton of scale on YouTube. So as someone in the financial world where there was pretty much no YouTubers at the time, this must have been 2016, 2017, I'd have to look back at those old videos, but I started a YouTube channel and I started in this process of making videos that I thought were entertaining and both educational on finance, and I think it was probably 8 videos in, I thought, wow, I hate editing, I hate filming, all of this stuff is horrible, I can't stick to it, there's no plan, there's no system. I'm trying to get into this business where I have no natural skills or abilities, and because of that, I think, again, I got about 8 videos into trying to build a content platform. You see, that was my state of mind. It was, oh, I'm gonna come up with like 1,000 videos over time, and this is gonna be a 3-year-long thing, and I'm gonna be making $500,000 a year from YouTube, and life will be easy. But no, I actually didn't even make 8 videos in. So here we are again, round 2, and we've already got 115 videos. So we're doing much better than last time, and we'll see if we can get to 1,000 this time around. Now, the nice thing about most of these businesses I failed at is that I was really young and I kind of had an excuse. It's like this whole thing, if you're young and stupid, you can kind of get away with it. But as you get older and more mature and more in the real world, you can't fail publicly and just be let off as easily. And this is when I start to get older. I'm probably in my early 20s and I actually starting to know people and make connections. And one thing that comes to mind between me and a close friend was, hey, in our local town, there's not really much ways for people who are excited about business or entrepreneurship to network. And we knew of someone in our city who had built a massive networking group for high-performing executives and was charging them like $150 a month, and there were 500 members. So do the math. It was a fantastic business opportunity to create this networking event that would go on throughout the year at really prestigious locations. Maybe we would have like an exotic car show for one, or we'd have like a rooftop pool, patio, dinner in downtown in our city, all these different things where we would have to pay for these expensive venues, get catering, and allow the young people in our city who are entrepreneurial and building things to get together. The problem was there were only like 16 of us and we all already knew each other, and we had done all the work into incorporating a business and getting these venues set up and thinking through all these ideas, running online advertising campaigns. We had this massive photo shoot. We got all the branding together for all these different social media pages and this website. And what ended up happening is that we didn't even sell one event. We didn't sell one ticket to one event. We actually had an event that was for free and we had like 10 people sign up, but that was like one of the most public failures I have had, where I tried to corral all these people in my community to doing something and kaput, zero, nothing ever happened. And it was just a mixture of being in it for the wrong reasons and not really having the product and market fit. And it was just one of those things where I look back at and think, yeah, you got ahead of yourself there. After all of these, I eventually found my way into just working a job at an investment dealer. And I decided over time that, okay, this is more my speed. It's something that I'm good at. And when I'm inside of an existing company, I can kind of see where the friction is, and I can apply that entrepreneurial gene that I have to a business that already exists. And I quickly realized within a year of working there that, hey, I can do this better and I can do this cheaper. And I ended up leaving to start my own company that would be a direct competitor with my old employer. So at the end of the day, that was the business. That was the one that ended up working out. That's Haven, where I currently work. We have just short of 300 clients. We manage over $10 million, and we help people invest and plan for their future and all those sorts of things. So it's funny how over time you go through this process, and over time I've seen it more like this. You need to go through the process of doing things wrong enough times that you kind of learn what you need to do to get them right. And for me, that was a combination of going in for the right reasons. It was a combination of needing to succeed or potentially die or face bankruptcy. And what I mean by that is if you're starting a business and you have some cushy background, you've got a bunch of cash and maybe you've got a side job, it's not as detrimental if you fail. But if you find yourself in a place where the incentives are right, it's like, oh, I've got a mortgage payment and I've got a car bill and I've got all these things, and if I don't pay them by default, having my own business under those conditions definitely put me in a spot where I had burned the bridges. If that business didn't survive, there was going to be ramifications, maybe even bankruptcy. With the explosion in the ability to become self-employed and more people all the time wanting to become self-employed, I think it's important for me to share the experience that I've gone through. And that experience really is that you can't start a business purely for reputational or status reasons. If you go into a business because you want to be seen as a business owner and you want to be seen as very successful, it's almost like a prerequisite for failure of whatever company you're going to start. Because as you go through the process of starting a company and trying to find customers and doing advertising and marketing and putting your feet and your fingers into all different areas where you're not a professional, you are going to trip and fall and fail so many times that you need something more than just ego to keep you going. You need a really genuine interest or passion, or you need to have your personal survival depend on the success of the business. Ultimately, if I could give a message or some wisdom to my younger self who is trying to start businesses, what I would say is, hey, don't be so obsessed with the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. Go get into the workforce and find places that still use fax machines. And that might seem funny, but what I really mean there is go into the workforce where you can learn from actual people and find businesses that are in the past. And as a young person, if you know how to use technology or you can apply entrepreneurship to a business that already exists, you can end up starting your own company. I hear this from people all the time and clients all the time who have really weird and quirky occupations. When you go through high school, they teach you about like 6 different jobs that exist, when in reality there's hundreds of thousands of jobs that exist. And you won't know that they exist until you're actually working, until you're actually networking and meeting different people and working, right? So that would be my message to my younger self. And if you're someone out there who's thinking about starting a company or wants to be self-employed or is ambitious in all these ways, I think it's so important to start working. Don't get so obsessed about entrepreneurship and never having a job that you want to start your own thing. Go get in the workforce and find a role and find a place where you can innovate. And from there, that's gonna lead to the opportunities and ideas that give you a real business that you can build that might actually work. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to the story of all my failed business ventures. It's kind of cringy for me, honestly, to look back at them, but hopefully you got some fun out of it. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video whatsoever, make sure to hit that like button below, hit subscribe, and turn on post notifications for more videos just like this one every single week. Until next time.